Have you ever heard of a sage so powerful, so consumed by righteous fury, that he vowed to cleanse the entire earth of its corrupt rulers? This is the story of Parshuram, the sixth avatar of Vishnu, a warrior sage whose name once struck terror into the hearts of kings. His legend is not just one of anger, but also of profound wisdom and unwavering dharma. He was a Brahmin by birth, yet a warrior by karma, destined to walk a path drenched in blood to restore balance to the world. The story begins not with Parshuram, but with his parents, the great sage Jamadagni and Princess Renuka. Jamadagni was a man of immense spiritual power, a descendant of the sage Bhrigu. Renuka was the daughter of a king, bringing a royal lineage into this hermitage of ascetics. Together, they had 5 sons, with Parshuram being the youngest. He was named Rama at birth, but would later earn the name Parshuram, meaning Rama with the axe, a name that would become legendary. The catalyst for his legendary rage was a seemingly simple event involving a divine cow named Kamadhenu, or sometimes her calf, Surabi. This celestial cow, residing at Jamadagni's ashram, had the power to grant any wish and provide endless abundance. One day, a powerful and arrogant king named Kartavirya Arjuna, also known as Sahasrarjuna because he was granted 1,000 arms, visited Jamadagni's hermitage with his massive army. The humble sage, using the powers of the divine cow, provided a grand feast for the entire army, astonishing the king. Filled with greed, Kartavirya Arjuna demanded the sage give him the cow. When Jamadagni rightfully refused, explaining the cow was essential for his rituals and the ashram's sustenance, the king's pride was wounded. In a fit of arrogance, Kartavirya Arjuna ordered his soldiers to seize the divine cow by force. Jamadagni, a sage of peace, could not stop the might of an entire army. The king's men desecrated the holy hermitage and dragged the celestial cow away to his capital. When Parshuram returned to the ashram and saw the destruction and heard of the king's heinous act, a fire was lit within him. This was not just a theft, it was an unforgivable violation of dharma, an insult to his father, and a display of the corrupt power that the warrior class, the Kshatriyas, had begun to wield. Armed with his legendary axe, Parashu, which was a gift from Lord Shiva himself after a long and arduous penance, Parshuram stormed towards Kartavirya Arjuna's capital, Mahishmati. He was a lone Brahmin against a king with 1,000 arms and a formidable army. What followed was a battle of epic proportions. Parshuram, a master of celestial weaponry and divine martial arts, single-handedly annihilated the king's entire army. He then faced Kartavirya Arjuna himself. In a fierce duel, Parshuram, with his divine axe, systematically severed each of the king's 1,000 arms and finally, his head. He had avenged the insult to his father and retrieved the divine cow. When Parshuram returned to the hermitage, his father Jamadagni was not pleased. The sage believed that a Brahmin's true power lay in forgiveness, not vengeance. He instructed Parshuram to go on a pilgrimage to atone for the sin of killing a king. Parshuram, ever the obedient son, followed his father's command. However, the story does not end here. The sons of Kartavirya Arjuna, burning with a desire for revenge, saw an opportunity in Parshuram's absence. They stormed Jamadagni's ashram, and in a cowardly act of vengeance, they attacked a defenseless sage while he was deep in meditation. They brutally murdered him, fulfilling their thirst for blood. When Parshuram's mother, Renuka, saw her husband's lifeless body, she cried out in anguish, beating her chest 21 times. Each beat was a call for justice, a testament to her immeasurable grief. Upon his return, Parshuram was met with the horrific sight of his murdered father and his grieving mother. The rage he had felt before was nothing compared to the inferno that now consumed his soul. He saw this not just as a personal tragedy, but as the ultimate symbol of the Kshatriya class's fall from grace. They had become arrogant, corrupt, and had forgotten their duty to protect sages and uphold righteousness. Standing by his father's funeral pyre, Parshuram took a terrible vow. He swore that he would not rest until he had purged the earth of his corrupt warrior class. Listening to his mother's 21 cries of despair, he pledged to travel the globe 21 times, and in each cycle, he would eliminate every arrogant and adharmic Kshatriya king he found. True to his word, Parshuram began his campaign of annihilation. With his axe in hand, he journeyed across the land, challenging and defeating one corrupt king after another. Entire dynasties fell before his divine wrath. He was an unstoppable force of nature, a personification of righteous anger. The earth was drenched with the blood of the corrupt, and it is said he filled 5 large lakes with it in a place that came to be known as Samanta Panchaka. This wasn't a blind slaughter. Parshuram was guided by Dharma. He was destroying a system that had become tyrannical. he was uprooting the weeds of corruption so that a new, more righteous society could grow. After completing his 21 campaigns, his purpose fulfilled, Parshuram's anger finally subsided. He performed a grand yajna, a fire ritual, to atone for the immense violence. He then renounced all the lands he had conquered, giving them away to the sages, and retreated to the Mahendra mountains to continue his life of austerity and penance. But Parshuram's story doesn't end with his great war. He is an immortal, a Chiranjeevi, who continues to exist on earth. His role shifted from a destroyer to that of a great teacher, a guru to some of the most formidable warriors in history. Two of his most famous disciples were Bhishma and Karna, central figures in the epic Mahabharata. Bhishma, the grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, learned the art of celestial weaponry from Parshuram. Their relationship, however, ended in a titanic battle that lasted for days, a conflict born from a clash of duties and promises. Later, the tragic hero Karna, seeking the knowledge of the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra, approached Parshuram. Knowing that Parshuram taught only Brahmins, Karna concealed his true identity as a Sudha, or a charioteer's son. Parshuram, impressed by Karna's discipline and skill, accepted him and taught him everything he knew. However, the truth was eventually revealed, and feeling betrayed, Parshuram cursed Karna, stating that he would forget the knowledge of the Brahmastra when he needed it most. This curse would have devastating consequences for Karna in his final battle. The story of Parshuram is a complex tapestry of rage, duty, justice, and wisdom. He is the Brahmin who wielded an axe, the sage who became a warrior, and the destroyer who became a teacher. His legend serves as a powerful reminder that when righteousness is threatened and power is abused, divine intervention can take on its most fearsome and uncompromising form. He is the eternal warrior, the guardian of Dharma, forever watching from his mountain retreat. We hope you found the story of the warrior sage, Parshuram, as fascinating as we did. For more tales from the rich tapestry of Hindu epics and Puranas, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Sanatan Puranas.